It appeared that the guy was going to surrender, but then he took off on him, and now he is southbound 5, transitioning from the 55 freeway. Again, a murder suspect wanted out of the Dallas area. You can get a good look at him right there as he's going transitioning south 5 from the 55, moving into the Tustin Irvine area at this point. But again, you can see several units behind the suspect, and he's got some heavy traffic here. He also has we also have an airship overhead that's tracking the suspect. But again, he's been driving at freeway speeds a little bit faster since he's gone into pursuit. And he's in the heavy traffic here. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a radio issue.
Is he by himself in the car, as far as you can tell?
We understand it's just the solo driver there in the vehicle. They tried to make that traffic stop on him, and he appeared to be, yielding, but then he was not complying with the officers. That's when he hit the gas and took off on them on the 91 freeway. Now he's approaching Red Hill on the 5 freeway. He had his hand out there, and they're saying that he may have thrown something out of the vehicle just before Red Hill. So we saw him stick his hand out there. We thought maybe he was gesturing, but again, the officers are saying that he may have thrown something out of the vehicle.
What's the traffic situation looking like now, Gil, as you widen out a little bit? I mean, I would imagine it's going to get pretty heavy here now.
Well, right now, Carolyn, the 5 freeway is moderate traffic heading southbound. The northbound side is where it bunches up quite a bit at this hour. He's going to have some issues when he gets down to the 133 and the 405, the El Toro Y interchange. That's where he's going to hit some heavier traffic. But for now, he's got some clear sailing here, and no sign of him giving up.
You know, one of the unusual things, at least appears from where we are, that he doesn't seem to be going all that fast. I understand there's a lot of traffic on the freeway, but it doesn't seem like he's going that fast.
Yeah, that's correct, Chuck. He's basically keeping up with the freeway speeds. He's driving as if there was no one behind him, and that's the strange thing. He's being very cool about it, and but continuing on. He knows that the police are behind him. He knows that they want him to stop, and it appears that he knows that what he's wanted for. So he's just going to continue on here and see what they're going to do. Now, I've heard that they at this point they're not talking about doing a pit maneuver or trying to get spike strips out ahead of him. And we understand that he's on his cell phone. I'm going to double in here to take a closer look at that driver. Looks like he just took off his seatbelt, and now he might be exiting here at Jamboree. We'll see what he does. And he is. He's getting off at Jamboree, off the 5 freeway. This is going to be in the Irvine area. And we'll see what he does. We understand that he was on the cell phone there for a minute. And here he comes to the bottom of the off-ramp. He has the opportunity to go either north or south here. If he goes... He's going south, so he's going to be going into the Irvine area. Had he gone north, he would have been going into the Tustin area. But so again, now southbound Jamboree
toward Newport?
From the 5.
Heading toward Newport.
Yes, Chuck, that's right.
So if he keeps going, he's going to end up on Pacific Coast Highway.
That's correct. He's got a ways to go before he gets to PCH, but at this point, he's going to be passing by the, if you're familiar with the District Shopping Center, he's going to be heading in that direction. His next major cross street will be, I'm sorry, hang on one second. Listening to the radio here.
Yeah, just update
it's going to be Walnut that he's approaching now, staying on Jamboree.
Just to update our viewers, Gil, we understand that perhaps this traffic stop was initiated because police recognized this car as having someone involved in a murder in Dallas, Texas, or a homicide there, but do we know anything more?
That's all we know at this point, Carolyn, that the want for this vehicle is a 180, they call it a 187 or a murder suspect out of the Dallas area. And that's when they tried to make the attempted stop. Now, they did have, they must have known of this guy because they had unmarked units behind him tracking him. Then they got the ground units on from Buena Park PD. They were the ones that made the stop, assisted by Anaheim PD helicopter, made that stop at Euclid on the 91, but then he decided, nope, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to take off and take my chances.
Are there a number of patrol cars still following him at this point? Some unmarked, some marked, or are you able to tell?
Yeah, let me zoom out and show you the number of police vehicles behind him.
Oh, yeah.
You can see him. Yeah, so he's got at least 4 there. And now that he's entering the Irvine area, Irvine PD will likely assist here. as they continue southbound on Jamboree.
Because he's a wanted suspect from the Dallas, Texas area, we're not sure if he's familiar with this area or not, but as Gil has pointed out, if he keeps going on Jamboree, eventually he's going to run out of road there as he hits Pacific Coast Highway, and then he's going to have to go either north or south or perhaps onto Balboa Island. Not quite sure what's in this guy's mind.
Yeah, he has, he's coming up to Barranca Parkway, and he's going to hit some traffic here. It's always pretty busy at this hour down Jamboree. Then he'll eventually, a couple miles away, he'll have the 405 freeway to make a decision there if he jumps on the 405 or not.
Yeah,
but still continuing.
Wants to get back on the freeway perhaps, but certainly he's moving along at a pretty good clip here. At this point, like you said, he's going to be hitting some traffic as he approaches a signal here.
Yeah, and here it is. Here's the signal at Barranca. Let's see what he does. It looks like he's setting up for a westbound turn on Barranca.
So basically, he's just making a big circle here.
Yeah, it appears that he is. Here's that district shopping center that I was talking about.
Yeah.
He's passing that. He could turn in there, and that could be a big problem. Look at this. The officer's getting really tight on him as if he wants to do a pit maneuver. We might see that here in just a moment. But he's that officer getting aggressive there, trying to maybe he was trying to keep him from turning into that busy shopping center.
Now traffic looks much lighter here. In fact, that's the only vehicle we see is the suspect's car.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to zoom out and give you a little bit of heads up there on the traffic. You can see it's wide open ahead of him. So he's got room to maneuver here, and if he continues for another couple miles, he'll end up back at the 55 freeway.
Now, is he slowing down? Does it appear to you?
He is. He's slowing down. He's weighing his options. It looks like he might be back on that cell phone. Now he's moved over to in the faster lanes here and passing a couple vehicles. They're all pulling over, getting out of the way.
Yeah, it's remarkable how light the traffic is on that side of the road where he's traveling.
Yeah, it really is. I'm trying to look out the window of News Chopper 4 to see what's ahead of him, but it looks like the police have the intersection is blocked off, and my pilot Bud Winkle is saying that the traffic is wide open ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now
but
he's way over on the what we'd call the shoulder there on the right side, right?
Yeah, he's over to the right.
Are those traffic lanes? I can't.
Oh, look
tell.
at this. Look at this.
Door is open.
Opening the door. He's surrendering. He's giving it up right there. He dropped something out. It might be the keys.
He is surrendering.
Surrendering here. So it looks like this pursuit is going to be over. They're going to clear that vehicle. They're going to order him to stay down there as they make an approach on him. But this is right at the intersection. I'll try to get you the street. It looks like Armstrong and Barranca Parkway. And you can see the officers with a canine unit there. They're going to make the approach on that suspect. They're going to try to clear that vehicle as well.
Did it look like he dropped something as he was coming out of that vehicle, or just had his hands up? It was a little difficult to tell.
Yeah, there's. It looks like maybe keys and maybe his cell phone that he threw down there.
Right. We can see that beneath the door there as you kind of pushed in a bit.
It almost looked like he was getting out of the car before it stopped.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't put it into park. He just took his foot off the accelerator and hopped out.
Yeah, exactly. But look at that. He's kind of rolling over there. He's getting directions by those officers what to do. And again, he's not totally complying with them. I don't know if he can't hear them or if he's just doing this to look at this. He's getting back up. That's never a good sign.
They want him down on the ground.
Exactly,
unless they're
Chuck,
asking him to move, but that would be unusual, wouldn't it?
He's quite a distance from the automobile. I would think that portion would be okay. It's unusual to see them crawl.
Yeah, usually they'll get up and have them, walk and move to where they want them to, but it's quite possible they're asking him to do that. That's not out of the question.
Now he's going back toward the car, correct?
He's actually crawling towards the officers. That is something we really haven't seen very often, is someone crawling back into position. Yeah, he could jump back into the car from here if he wanted to, and so that doesn't seem like standard procedure at this point.
But the dog is still next to the officers there with the vehicle, so no change with the canine unit.
Yeah, that's got to be intimidating, and certainly seeing that dog there ready for action. you got to comply. You got to think twice about that. Not to mention that the fact that all the officers have guns drawn on them.
And once again, if you're just joining us, this was an individual who's apparently wanted on a murder warrant in the Dallas, Texas area. And we picked this up going south on the 55 and then up to the I-5 and the Tustin-Irvine area, then on Jamboree, and now we're at Armstrong and Barranca.
So still in the Irvine area where it has come to a conclusion, and we can see him now kind of, it appears, crawling his way toward the police vehicles.
Yeah, it's highly unusual to see this. I've never seen this actually happen before, so
once again, this is
what he's
the
going to do.
Intersection of Armstrong and Barranca, correct?
Yeah, I'm looking at the map here. It looks like we're over Barranca, and the cross street there, I believe, is Armstrong.
Yeah,
now, this is right near the old Tustin Marine Corps Air Station.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
This is really odd that they would have him crawl up to them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, usually we'll hear them or have him stand up and walk backwards towards them. We'll see, at times they'll have him lift his shirt up to make sure he has no weapons. But this is really, really unusual.
And he's, you would think at this point they might tell him to just hold while they approach
Put
him,
your hands,
because
behind your back and
or lie back down on the pavement.
But he seems to be still moving.
Yeah, exactly. It's so unusual to see this happen. That dog is now in the back of the police car, standing by. But these officers here, there's three officers on that side of the car, plus it looks like an undercover, maybe detective there that's encouraging him to continue on. So it looks like they're going to make their approach on him now and take him into custody. I mean, this is unbelievable. He's just crawling right up to the officers.
This is something we don't see often.
And the plainclothes officer is the one that is putting the cuffs on him.
Yeah. Very interesting to see that happen. But now that they have him in cuffs, they're going to clear that vehicle to make sure there's no one else in there. But a very interesting pursuit here as it spanned all the way from the 5 and the 91 all the way down here to the Irvine area.
Yeah, so we know this all started on the 91 when police made a traffic stop in the Euclid area. They'd been following this vehicle wanted on a murder warrant out of Dallas, Texas, and the driver initially seemed to comply there at 91 in Euclid, but then took off. And that chase ensued. Gil Levis, News Chopper 4, has been over it for us all the way here into Irvine at Barranca Parkway and Armstrong, where it has come to a peaceful conclusion.